Today, we will be discussing international relations as part of the recap series. So we will take up some important issues which are centering with India, okay, for today's discussion. So the first one, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about G20 summit and related to G20 summit. So 4 issues are there, okay. And with this relationship, we are also going to discuss about Abraham Accords, so which are almost running into 4th year. So how these Abraham Accords are functioning and what are the importance of it. Okay, fine. So now, what is the importance of 18th G20 summit?
Hosted by India.
Okay, so first time hosted by India. Okay, so India is a member in G20 since which year? India is member of G20 from which year?
But post 2008, so 2008 or 2009.
Is it too late? Then anybody else? Okay. So we'll see one by one. So G20. So why it is more significant? G20 is significant because it is a group of how many countries? Group of how many countries?
So it was 19 countries plus the EU, and now African Union has been added.
Okay. So totally, we have 21 participants or members, in which country means 19. Okay, so 19 plus 2 organization. Okay, so when G20 was formed?
1999.
1999. So whether India is a founder member or we joined later? Is India a founder member? What happened?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So India is a founder member, right?
Yes.
So because in 1999 itself we were largely in the economic growth phase, because we have launched LPG in 1991. So naturally we were into cooperation. So when India joined, since its inception. Okay. So since 2008, they started at least having one meet every year. Okay, year on year, and they have a group, and they have grouped this particular 20 countries or 19 plus 2 institutions, and accordingly the presidency will carry forward for one by one, and in that manner. So this time we had the presidency shared it to India. Fine. So composition, you try to remember, because many times we have faced a question on membership of G20. Okay. So they will give some group of countries and they will ask whether it is G20 member or not. Okay. So the recent one to join is African Union. Fine. So most importantly, the theme of this particular G20 is one earth, one family, one future. So which is inspired from Maha Upanishad. And it is the first G20 summit to be held in India. So we had some priority regions so that you can have the priority regions. So most importantly, the declaration which was adopted was Delhi Declaration. So at that time, it was the war time period between Ukraine and Russia. So anyway, we could adopt it, and we had a successful declaration called Delhi Declaration. In this Delhi Declaration, so some important announcements were made, right, as part of it. One is the Global Biofuel Alliance, the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, and we had the Green Development Pact for Sustainable Future and Green Hydrogen Innovation Center, and along with ISA initiative was established. So this particular, all these are India centered and India leading organizations. So definitely you need to have some information about these organizations or alliances or initiatives, whatever it may be. Okay, so that is for sure they may ask you in this aspect, especially in mains. So they will ask you the significance of IMEC and green hydrogen innovation. So with related to how green energy is there. So either green energy, including biofuel and hydrogen, so whatever it is. So they try to have this particular feature. Okay. So apart from that, some displays were there as part of culture. You can remember that. Say the Cheriyal painting of Telangana, so which is something unusual. So if they give Cheriyal, so sometimes you may fall for Kerala or Karnataka by the name. Okay, so Cheriyal painting is from Telangana, and similarly you have the bronze statue of Buddha sitting under Bodhi tree. So they may ask about the bronze statue of Buddha from Sultanganj in Guptan period. So that can be asked. Okay. So likewise, same way, Konark wheel from Odisha Sun Temple, and Dokra art, which is also recently in news. So all these aspects try to have remember. Okay, because since it is happening for the first time and it has been displayed for international event, so definitely they can have a match the following kind of. Okay, Dokra art, which place, Cheriyal painting, which place. Okay, so Sal silk from which place. So likewise, you can have some match the following or correctly matched kind of questions. Okay, and similarly, you can see, say this is somewhat less important, but still we need to know the Magna Carta, which gave us the rights, and similarly the bronze statues, Mona Lisa, and other Gutenberg's Bible. So all these, but still, Indian side is much more important as part of culture, right? And apart from that, we have other proposals, other aspects, so which are planned. So Global Digital Public Infrastructure Repository and One Future, One Alliance. So again, a voluntary initiative proposed. Take on high-level principles on food security and nutrition, Green Development Pact, and apart from that, the G20 Women Ministerial. So in this, these are all proposals. So possibly what they will do, they will say India has declared open. So which are the following? Okay, so it is just a proposal. It is not yet completely done. So likewise, so which is actually launched, which has been not followed up, try to have the differentiation. That is the area where you can follow it. Got it? And in mains also, it may be much significant with respect to what are all the initiatives which are taken or overall assessment of G20 likewise. Fine. Okay. So now as part of G20 summit, so you had the most important one, the Biofuel Alliance. Okay. See, there are many other alliances which are there across world with respect to biofuels. Okay. Especially even US has a separate one, and India has one. India, Brazil, US has one. So different organizations are there. Try to have a basic idea on these organizations. Okay. So in this Global Biofuel Alliance, it is launched by India, Brazil, and US. Okay, you know, Brazil is the largest ethanol user right? So India, Brazil, and US. So India is trying to funnel upon this particular biofuel intensification, which they try to promote in India, right? For which what we have in biofuel promotion, what we have as a most important aspect, ethanol blending.
Ethanol blending.
Ethanol blending, right? So ethanol blending in what do you call petrol? Okay, so we are trying to achieve 20% by 2025-26. Making it even more advanced from 2030. And similarly, this particular biofuel alliance, so we have around 19 nations and 12 international organizations supporting in this particular alliance. You can see the founder, India, Brazil, and US, whereas other supporters there are. Okay, so the list has been given. You just have an idea about it. So who are all there? So neighbors, how many neighbors are there? Some of the unusual countries. Okay, so who are all there? So you can have a look upon. And similarly, why India needs that and what all the targets we have for this. So we can have this. It can be also asked. And similarly, we have seen biofuel usage of Brazil and its biofuel production, ethanol production, all were in news. Okay. So try to have an idea upon Brazil and Argentina with respect to alternative fuels. Okay. Similarly, what are all the steps we have taken? Programs like Satat program. Okay. And similarly, you have the Samarth program, petrol blending with ethanol program. So likewise, what are all the initiatives what we have with respect to biofuels and alternative fuels? You try to gather upon, because they can ask you even in mains about what are the steps taken with respect to promotion of alternative fuels. Okay. See, remember that the words will play the game here. Okay. What they are talking about, emerging technologies in fuel, alternative technologies in fuel, biotechnologies in fuel, okay, renewable energy as such. So accordingly, you need to remember those sources, right? So renewable energy in the sense everything will come. Alternate means hydrogen, methanol, ethanol. Okay, so all these are alternate. Okay, and green energy you can use biofuel, green ammonia, green hydrogen, etc. So try to find out how this particular alternative fuel is working. When they ask you alternative fuel, what are all the things we need to provide? In case of sustainable fuel or green fuel, what we need to provide. Renewable energy means what you need to provide. Okay, so you need to have clarity there. Yeah. When you talk about alternative fuel, don't talk about solar panels there. Okay, they are all renewable, that's all. Okay, so they are not green, but they are renewable. Okay, whereas why I call solar as not green, because so it has its own impact on environment because of heavy metals and other stuff. So naturally, what they are going to ask you, accordingly, you try to figure out the answer. Otherwise, it will be generalistic where you may end up in messing up the things. Clear? So that is very important with respect to this. So you know what are biofuels? So biofuels are biological based products from which we try to use them as fuel. So it can be solid, liquid, or gas, or any form. And from that biomass, we try to use it. Okay. So we have bioethanol, biodiesel, biomethanol, and e-methanol. Okay. All 4 different types of biofuels are there. We have discussed it sufficiently during our test series also. Right. So what is methanol? What is diesel? What is biomethanol? What is e-methanol? And generally what is biogas and other stuff. Okay. So have that differentiation, you know that. Okay. Which term? So you have it in the display itself. So we have biogas, bioethanol, biodiesel, biomethanol, e-methanol. Okay, e-methanol is the synthesizing, that is you capture carbon dioxide from other areas and try to use it to produce this particular methanol. Whereas Biomethanol is from the direct feedstock. You try to get the biogas and try to reuse it. Okay, so all these alternative you have, and similarly, alternative and renewable. Renewable, you know, it's already used one, say wind, okay, geothermal, or things which you can have again and again. So that we call it as renewable. So it may be wind, solar, geothermal, likewise. Okay. Apart from that, you have biofuels or green energy. So green energy, you can use all biofuel, green ammonium, green methanol, green hydrogen, everything. Okay. Alternative means you try to have these biomethanol, uh, hydrogen, green hydrogen, likewise. Okay. These are the emerging aspects of alternative fuels. Okay. Alternative is something which we call it as newly emerging, right? So until now, you don't have anything. Say, for example, algae-based fuel, likewise. Okay. And similarly, try to have an understanding on what are the different types of biofuel generations. Okay, you have 4 generation fuels, right? So first generation, we have it is directly, it will be from the sources of food, which we call it as uh, primary fuel. This was actually felt as a threat for food security because you directly use all crop aspects or what do you call firewood or whatever it may be, and that derivative is first generation also because wheat, barley, corn, potato, whatever it is, you just shift it to uh, producing biofuel. Okay, so this first generation, from first generation, we quickly shifted to second generation. Why? Because of the threat to the, food security. Because many countries, they started shifting the wheat and corn for biofuel generation rather than providing it for the people, right? That was a problem. Then we had what are all the sources what we have, say bioethanol and so on, where non-edible, okay, non-edible part of bio products we started using. So instead of feedstocks, we started using the non-feed stock. Okay. And third generation, we leave all these two and we try to go with the microbe. And the fourth will be the synthesizing biotechnology, synthetic biotechnology, where we try to generate it. And then from that particular generated microorganism, we try to have that fuel. Okay. That is fourth generation. So all 4 generations are there, and India largely now dominates in the second generation. So we try to have more second generation, and we also use reuse oil, the reuse oil, where we try to have the oil collected from major industries, food houses, and so on. So we also reuse them to produce the biodiesel. Okay. So likewise, these areas try to have concentration on. Okay. So this is one important area which was there on part of G20. Okay. Fine. Now, another part of G20 is this Digital Innovation Alliance. Okay. So what is this actual alliance all about? Hmm? Who started it in India? Which ministry is responsible for it? Digital Innovation Alliance. Yes. MeitY. Okay. So electronic and information technology. So this particular ministry is responsible for this Digital Innovation Alliance. Okay. So in this Digital Innovation Alliance, we have around 6 different teams. Okay. 6 different teams in which they try to use the digital technologies in various formats. So remember, they try to say some words like this. They wanted to need Digital Innovation Alliance says that they want to need digital solutions for inclusive accessible, affordable, sustainable, transformative. Okay. So why we need digital innovation? Inclusion should be there, access should be there, affordability should be there, sustainability should be there, transformation should be there. So these are some of the keywords which you need to remember, which you can use it for your main roles. So in this 6 different areas where they want to have all these 5 impact is education, agriculture or food security, that is the food systems, then finance, digitization, health, then security aspect of digital public infrastructure, then circular economy. Okay, so in all these 6 different areas, they wanted to have digital innovation as a part. Okay, so in case if you want to talk about AI, you try to talk of link all these 6. If you want to talk about general digitization, talk about these 6. If you want to talk about emerging technologies, try to link it with these. So whatever it is, you try to link in this particular aspect. Okay. So this is important. And similarly, when you have these areas, so when you every area they have given area of focus. Say for example, education means quality, technology, equitable education, likewise. So in agriculture, new age farming techniques, education, precision, okay, blockchain technology in finance, digital payments or currencies in finance. Okay, health is the emerging technologies in health. In digital security, we have cyber security, platform issues, 5G technologies, circular economy, you know, supply chain innovations, waste, recycle, reuse, all those factors. So where you can use AI in case if they are going to ask. So every area you have some area of innovation. So try to link it with these area of innovation. Okay. So in this particular 6 different areas, so you have around 3 different identified focus point. So you have around 18 to 20 different areas of focus. So you can easily identify with the specificity where AI or digital, any emerging technology can operate. Got it? So this is how you can easily target these type of questions. And remember that it is India, one of the important member of this particular thing. Okay, so this is for mains part, but what is all about prelims? So this alliance has created this board, okay, Digital Innovation Board. Okay, so this particular board is actually related to International Telecommunication Union. So you know the UN organization, ITU. Okay. So this particular organization elected India as a co-chair for this Digital Innovation Board. Okay. So Digital Innovation Board. So this is one of the important aspect why this particular board is in news. Okay. So this Digital Innovation Board was formed under Innovation and Entrepreneurship Alliance for Digital Development. Okay. So this is a initiative under which this particular Digital Innovation Board was set up by the members of what you call the Innovation Alliance. So this particular Innovation Alliance tries to, that is this particular Innovation Alliance as well as the Digital Innovation Board, they try to have focus area like the lab development, that is digital labs and all those aspects which come into that particular perspective. But the logic is that we have this particular ITU taken up India as a co-chair. Similarly, we have ITU centers in Delhi also. So we have Global Innovation Center and so on. And in this particular manner, we try to have this particular Digital Innovation Board in news. Okay. So naturally related to that, the 5G or your telecommunication related sandbox technologies. So those which are in news, you can try to take a leverage upon. Clear? So hackathons, so which are organized based on that. So all these aspects you try to have a look upon, okay, with this particular area. So basically Digital Innovation Board related to ITU, which is under Innovation and Entrepreneurship Alliance for Digital Development. So these three organizations, along with Digital Innovation Alliance, try to have a link. Okay. So because they may simply ask you, it has been formed by India, in India, and this is going to happen within India and so on. So it is going actually an international organization, right? Now, so apart from that, the next important thing what we had on part of this is the proposed India, Middle East, Europe mega economic corridor. So you can see the map. So it is a multimodal. So when you see it, naturally it should be multimodal because from India to Oman, it has to be through ships and then through train and then again ship and then train and so on. So likewise, it is a multimodal setup, and you can see the members are India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, European Union, and France, Italy, Germany separately, and US. Okay. So here they say there is going to be a multimodal transportation, which is going to be there. Ship, rail, transit is going to happen. And you can see in the Arabian Gulf, say they call it as Arabian Gulf because it is Saudi Arabia involved. If Iran is involved, they will call it as Persian Gulf, but both are same. And similarly, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, it will be there. And sea route again from Israel to Italy. So remember that those bordering countries, so they can ask you in this aspect. Say, for example, so those Middle East countries which are bordering South Africa, okay, likewise. So they can ask you in this particular case. So this is one important thing what they are going to have. And as part of this economic corridor, you are going to have rail link, undersea electric cable link, high-speed data cable link, as well as hydrogen pipeline. Okay, all these they have suggested, but I don't suppose immediately things were rolling on, but because there were many other issues involved. But it's a significant event in case if in future if things are happening. Okay, so it is seen as an alternative route what we had from Chabahar, which is the international north-south transport corridor, which connects Russia with India via Chabahar port. Okay, so this is another thing which is there. So this particular, whether it is north-south transport corridor or IMEC, whatever it is, it directly has an impinge on the Belt and Road Initiative of China because they have completely involved in these aspects. So one of the countries which were earlier in this particular thing is Italy. Okay, so Italy came away from BRI recently, but Saudi Arabia and UAE is still present there. So which is one of the important issues what we have in this regard. But anyway, so it is proposed in 2023 and 7 countries and European Union. So basically it is a common consultation basis through which the economic aspect is going to happen. It is not more political. Okay, whereas BRI, so 10 years before it was launched in 2013, and it has around 150 countries and 30 international organizations and centrally designed with the Chinese interest. Okay, so we call it as debt trap diplomacy, where these countries fall under debt with the Chinese because of their economic growth in that particular way. Anyway, so basically, it's just a starting point. We don't have anything else much done after that because of various other political turnouts what we had, and we had problems in Ukraine as well as in Turkey. We had issues. Turkey is stubbornly opposing this proposed project because they have their own issues in that particular region. And apart from that, you have another, a partnership or investments called as Partnership for Global Infrastructure Investment, which is similar to this, which was launched by G7 countries, which are more powerful than this. So naturally, that's one thing which is coming as a critic on this particular corridor. Already when it is there, so how it is going to be benefiting us, because G7 countries are going to invest there. So whatever it is, later we will see. But as of now, in case if they are going to ask, they won't ask about proposals, but they will ask you the map. Okay. They may give you one place, the ports will be there. Okay. So they would have mentioned the ports which are there in this regard. So try to have that port cities. So they will say if one crosses from this point to this point. Okay. So what all the ports will come. Okay. Or what are all the gulls or water bodies which I have to cross, kind of questions can be there. It's more a map. Okay, a map based question in this particular case. So expect that, because new developments have to come in. Only then the questions will be there in that regard. Okay. In mains, you have separate questions, so it can how strategically India places IMEC against the BRI, whether it will be successful or not, that is different. But for prelims, it will be mostly in this circle. Okay. Fine. So apart from that, so the same region, so where you have this problem, that is Abraham Accords. So you can see Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, UAE had come together in IMEC, right? So how it is possible? How it was possible? Though Saudi Arabia was not Abraham Accord signatory with Israel, they try to have this particular proposal with Israel and Jordan, right? So there comes the importance of Abraham Accords. So what are these Abraham Accords? So these are actually the series of accords or agreements signed between Israel and the Arab countries, okay, the nearby Arab countries, and it was under the blessings of US government. Okay, so this is seen as some of the truce which can be made between Israel and other Arabic states, so that for Israel, the Palestine issue will be decoupled from the Arab states, because Palestine is an Arabian country. And Saudi Arabia can be isolated, and similarly, Palestine can be an isolated event. So for Israel, whereas for other countries, so sustained economic, political tussle with Israel is not yielding any profit for them. So naturally, they need peace, so they try to have it. And the first country to have such agreement was Egypt. Okay, so way back in 1970s itself, Egypt did that. So after that, we had such accords which were signed recently between UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, Morocco, likewise. So when they started signing, so the Arabian cause is going to get watered out as part of the Israel's idea. So this is what they also need, right? So apart from that, when the advancement happens, so naturally you can see many organizations came in, or associations came in, I2U2, where Israel, India, US and UAE came together to form I2U2 in Middle East, which is considered to be a Quad in Middle East, right? Or Quad in West Asia, to be precise. So in that particular way, they try to have, and even Israel and UAE had a comprehensive economic partnership and so on. So likewise, some normalcy is tried to be there. So after this normalcy coming into picture, then only the Palestinian attack was happening, or the war which Israel wanted to finish off the PLA came in this particular aspect. Okay, so in this backdrop. So anyway, in mains you may have questions. What is Abraham Accords? Why it couldn't sustain, or what was the significance of India interest in that? That's fine. Whereas for prelims, so they may ask you what is what and who signed it first, and recently what are the countries which came up with the Abraham Accords. Okay, so these are certain areas which you need to look upon in Abraham Accords. Clear? So any doubt in these? Okay. So apart from these areas, so what we have, so predominantly when you see the questions which are there in international affairs, so you can see questions related to India-centered development or some other development which directly impacts India or world, okay, as such. So likewise, they are asking either it can happen first time in the international event, or it will definitely have India as a partner, or India-centric changes would have been there. Okay, so like that organization, first you concentrate on, and then the other areas you can follow later. Okay, thank you.